I'm Suraj Hashmi from the Washington Examiner, and this is White House Weekly, where we highlight the top stories coming from 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. We begin on Friday, September 4th. President Trump announces that the U.S. brokered an agreement between Israel and Serbia and Kosovo, allowing for normalized economic ties that includes the Balkan countries establishing their respective embassies in Jerusalem. Meanwhile, Trump defends himself against a report in The Atlantic that, according to a number of unnamed sources, called American service members who died in war losers and suckers.
Do you need to apologize to service members and veterans?
No, it was a fake story written by a magazine that was probably not going to be around much longer. But it was a totally fake story, and that was confirmed by many people who were actually there.
The thing about this Atlantic story is that it came out of nowhere. The alleged conversations took place in 2018. If the timing of this story makes you suspect that it's a politically motivated piece, you're probably right. Monday, Labor Day, September 7th. Following the Atlantic story, President Trump holds a news conference where he accuses U.S. military leaders of waging wars to boost profits for defense contractors.
I'm not saying the military is in love with me. The soldiers are. The top people in the Pentagon probably aren't, because they want to do nothing but fight wars so that all of those wonderful companies that make the bombs and make the planes and make everything else stay happy. But we're getting out of the endless wars. You know how we're doing.
While critics were shocked about Trump's comments, with CNN calling it unprecedented, which is true for a sitting president, this is the exact type of criticism opponents were making of then Vice President Dick Cheney and the Bush administration when the U.S. invaded Iraq in 2003. Tuesday, September 8th. Responding to a defamation lawsuit, the Justice Department moves to defend President Trump against allegations made by author E. Jean Carroll, who accused the president of raping her in a Manhattan department store in the 1990s. While it's an unusual move, the DOJ made the argument that because President Trump was acting in his official capacity, that he denied ever knowing Carroll, he could be defended by government lawyers. Wednesday, September 9th. Taped recordings from author Bob Woodward's new book are released, in which President Trump gave 18 on-the-record interviews, one of which where he downplays the impact and deadliness of the coronavirus.
And so what was President Xi saying yesterday?
Well, we were talking mostly about the virus, and I think he's going to have it in good shape, but, you know, it's a very tricky situation.
Indeed
It goes through air, Bob. That's always tougher than the touch. You know, the touch, you don't have to touch things, right? But the air, you just breathe the air. That's how it's passed. And so that's a very tricky one. That's a very delicate one. It's also more deadly than your strenuous flus. You know, people don't realize we lose 25,000, 30,000 people a year here. Who would ever think that, right?
I know. It's
pretty amazing. And then I say, well, is that the same thing? This is more deadly. This is 5% versus 1% and less than 1%. You know, so this is deadly stuff.
Later, Trump attempts to clarify his comments in the news conference, saying he didn't want to create a sense of panic.
And certainly I'm not going to drive this country or the world into a frenzy. We want to show confidence. We want to show strength. We want to show strength as a nation.
Meanwhile, Trump announces 20 more picks for the Supreme Court, including Senators Ted Cruz, Tom Cotton, and Josh Hawley. It adds to his existing list of potential Supreme Court nominees. Also, Trump is nominated for the Nobel Peace Prize for the second time by right-wing Norwegian politician Christian Tybring-Gjedde. Thursday, September 10th. Trump flips the script on the Woodward book by accusing his Democratic opponent Joe Biden of campaigning against the coronavirus vaccine.
Now, Biden's launched a public campaign against the vaccine, which is so bad. We have
Later, the president heads to Michigan for one of his trademark rallies inside an airport hangar as polls tighten in the crucial swing state. With summer dead and gone due to Labor Day weekend, President Trump turns the heat up on campaigning, traveling to the crucial swing states of Florida, North Carolina, and Michigan. While the focus from his critics has been on the Woodward tapes, Trump got some good news from the August jobs report, where the unemployment rate fell to 8.4%. Before COVID, the economy was Trump's strength. If the nation continues to see falling unemployment before the election, there's a good chance he could see 4 more years.